So it's been a couple of weeks since we've both been sitting here in front of the camera because not a lot has happened in the NFL world and because some of us have been busy, some more than others. But we are finally back. The NFL draft has come and gone. And now it is time to do what I always say I'm sick of doing, and that's judge all the draft picks before they've even taken a snap on an NFL field. Because obviously we know how good these guys are going to be after they've been just selected and haven't played a single game. Because obviously we can see the
hmm
future. I can look at that draft class and say that fifth round running back you took, that guy's gonna hit. All right, so you get an A.
hmm
That's an A plus. So it is time for
hmm
that. I know the New York Giants were one of the most active teams in the draft, having two top 10 picks. What do you think about trading Dexter Lawrence for an offensive lineman?
it's unfortunate to see Dex go. It was kind of like I was happy we got. So, like, I think that was the best possible pick we could get. Like, we really lucked out that the Bengals were like, yeah, sure. Um, but I think that it was needed. I think that the relationship between him and Joe Shane was destroyed, despite Harbaugh really trying to make him feel welcomed. Like, they were apparently all in a lot of meetings together, and he was trying to repair that relationship, but it just didn't go that way. Um, and I think the result was kind of as good as it could have gotten for the Giants. I think Francis is kind of exactly what the Giants need because he's going to be starting at right guard. But they have Jermaine Illuminor, who's the
Ravens
right
legend.
tackle, and he's oh, was he on the Ravens?
Yes, for a cup of
Really?
coffee.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that. But and he had a pretty good season last year for the Giants. He was a good pass blocking right tackle, but he has so many years left. So after he's gone, you could swing Francis over to right tackle, and unfortunately, Andrew Thomas has had some injury issues. So maybe if he goes down, Francis could swing from guard to left tackle. So he could do a lot at a high level, and I think he kind of fits exactly what the Giants needed. So I'm okay right now because of course like anyone could be but like people were saying Evan Neal was the steal of the draft when we got him. Yeah, you were saying that, and
I'm not a GM,
he's
guys.
actually he actually had. I was very surprised by this. He has like an 81 PFF rating for run blocking. He's a putrid pass
Yeah.
blocker. He's a good run because he's just big and he just has to go forward.
Yeah.
Um, and we re-signed him. Actually, he's still on the team. But yeah, I think Francis was kind of exactly what they needed. So I'm at the moment okay with it, but we have to see how he pans out.
I do.
That's how
I do
my
think the trade
stance.
was smart for Cincinnati because they can't draft or develop to save their damn life. So I actually think it's smart of
Yeah,
them
they can't.
to flip a top 10 pick for a guy you know is good. So I'm not going to make fun of
Yeah,
them
he
for
is
that.
good.
But we are going to do what we did when we ranked all the Super Bowls. It is time for a tier list. So we have all the teams here. We have S through F. This is a very weird order on the tier list, but we're going to go in alphabetical order because we have uh, the draft like recap pulled up here. So we'll look through all the
Yeah.
players. We are not, while we paid attention to the draft, we are by no means draft savants. So there's going to be something that we're not aware of. Like I can't tell you what my thoughts are on sixth round linebacker Carson Sherrar out of Iowa for Arizona. Like, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
we're not gonna go into that level of analysis, but we'll try.
Yeah.
We'll grade the teams mostly off of their first round pick, but obviously if there's a certain player we really liked in the second or third rounds, we can consider that too. But I want to
Yeah.
start with the Arizona Cardinals, and this is something I actually have one of my biggest opinions on. When everyone does their instant winners and losers of the draft, they immediately go to making fun of the Cardinals because they picked a running back third overall. I'm going to be that guy to play devil's advocate and say, can we please go 5 minutes without complaining about positional value? Jeremiah Love is a beast. He is going to be a beast unless he gets injured or
hmm
something. He is going to be a
Yeah.
monster in the NFL. He's a great rusher. He's a great pass catcher. He's a multi-tool threat that a team like Arizona really needs because they haven't had a dynamic. When was the last time they had a
Yeah.
dynamic big play skill position player? The occasional play from
Uh,
Hollywood Brown maybe for the 5 minutes he was there. Like
who is
people,
that running back that was good in like 2017?
David
David
Johnson,
Johnson. What was? Yeah,
David
David
Johnson.
Johnson.
Yeah, like
He was
they
pretty
need
good.
teams need. I understand teams prioritizing building the offense and the defensive line, like these guys, but teams need playmakers. And Jeremiah Love, in my opinion, was the second best pure talent in this draft after Arvo Reese. So I
Yeah,
think they got it. I mean, people made fun of the Falcons for picking Bijan because they're like, you picked a running back. He's the best player on their team, and he's one of the best running backs in the league.
yeah.
Jeremiah Love is going to
People
be
were
one of the best running backs
trashing.
in the league. I mean,
Yeah,
same with the
people were
Lions.
trashing the Lions. Yeah, people were
Exactly.
trashing the Lions for drafting Gibbs. Did I not? And you could scroll back in our Discord server to see. I said the day of the draft, Jeremiah Love's not making it past 3.
I thought he'd go
Like
four. I thought Tennessee would get him.
yeah,
So I thought that was a smoke
I
screen. Yeah. I
no, yeah. Well,
last
because
year.
I saw
Listen,
something
listen, listen.
saying
Last year, my
er,
mock draft was cash money, and I got my first 7 picks right. This year, number 2, David Bailey, wrong. Number 3, J Love, wrong. Completely threw it all off.
I got like nothing right. I got I think I only got the first pick right. I actually think that's my like no one. I didn't hear one person say that the Titans could draft Tate.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Like
I
there
thought it.
was
I
no
was.
information.
I was certain that he'd be a Brown. I got Olave Vega to the Ravens right. I got that right. Thank God.
Yeah,
Eric DeCosta thought about trading down for freaking the tight end. I actually would have crashed out. We thought about doing a live reaction to the draft. It's probably a good thing we didn't because Mark was busy and the ESPN app is the biggest piece of horse shit in the world and it freezes every 5 seconds on the TV. So
hmm
it would have been a mess. But
yeah,
if we had traded down and picked Kenyon Sadiq, I might have broken something. This
yeah.
bottle, I would have had a bottle or something. I would have thrown it across the room. But anyway, there is a pick I do want to make fun of the Cardinals for, and it's
Yeah.
Carson Beck.
Back.
I do want to make fun of that
Yeah.
pick. That's stupid. It won't negatively impact the grade
Yeah.
too much because it's a third-round pick, and quarterback depth is always quarterback depth. But like, I've never been
Yeah.
very impressed by Carson Beck. I'm nothing more than a casual football fan. I actually watched Carson Beck live when they played Virginia Tech because I went to all the VTech games this past year. So I watched Beck, and it was Malachi Toney was Miami's playmaker on offense, not Carson Beck. And I feel like if Cam Ward was Miami's quarterback for that playoff run, I think they would have beaten Indiana in the national championship. So
Yeah.
I don't like that pick, but
I think Beck has just been, and a lot of people agree, he's just kind of been a product of really good college football programs. Like he's just been on great teams
I remember watching
and
when he
just
was in
kind of
Georgia and he
won.
played Bama. He was so bad. So I don't like that pick. Um,
Yeah, yeah. They picked Chase Basantis, and he was a good guard. A lot of people thought he could go late first round, so
that could be a good pick.
that's a good one. Yeah, good.
So
I think it's a good idea to because they invested in their run game and their line, and then quarterback. So I'd give the Cardinals honestly just because there's some consistency there. Like they're clearly investing in their offense. They got, like you said, probably the second, maybe even like best player in the draft class. I'd give them like an A,
I'd go B because I don't like the
honestly.
Beck. I don't like the Beck
Yeah,
pick. I'd go B. I like the
I
Jeremiah Love. Everyone's gonna give him an F because they picked a running back third overall. I'm knocking them down to B because I don't think Carson
it's
Beck is good.
stupid.
So I'd go B.
No,
But I think Jeremiah
yeah,
Love's gonna be fantastic.
I'm just thinking that I don't want to write off like anybody. Like Brock Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant. I'm not saying Carson Beck's going to be as good as Brock Purdy. I think Brock is a pretty legit player, but he's like Carson Beck's been on winning teams. He's clearly going to be the backup. Jacoby. It's not going to be like learning from Brett Favre when Aaron Rodgers was drafted. Jacoby Brissett's going to be the starter, but I personally like the consistency of investing in their offense. They even drafted a receiver and an offensive tackle later in the draft. I'd give them an A just because I think Jeremiah Love is really legit and Chase was a potential first rounder. Like, of course, those first bunch of second round picks are guys who could have gone in the first round. But regardless, that was a guy who was projected to possibly go in the first round, and they got two first round projected players. So I'm going
So
to give
I
them an A.
am. So I'm hard on B, but you're hard on A. So here's what we'll do. We will go back and forth between who has the tiebreaker. I'll let you go first because you're the guest. So I will put Arizona in A, but next time we're at a disagreement, tiebreaker goes to me, and then we'll go back to you.
Switch it.
But
Okay,
you
that's
will give
fine.
I'll give you first dibs. So we'll put Arizona in an A, and now we move to the other team that
Yeah,
starts with A. I don't know if they had an A draft. The Atlanta Falcons. Obviously, they did have a first
yeah.
round pick, but I will say this again. I'm not going to pretend to know everything about what are these guys. Ontario Thompson, defensive tackle to Washington. I do really like the
Yeah.
Avion Terrell pick. I thought Terrell was like late first round value. I was thinking he would go to the Seahawks because I believe they lost Woolen. Where's Woolen? Is he
Yeah, they lost
is he in
Eagles.
Philadelphia?
Eagles.
Philadelphia. They
Yeah.
could use another corner for depth, and they went and got So I thought he would
Yeah.
go to Seattle.
It's a
So
good value.
actually,
It's a good
yeah,
value.
I think getting Terrell in the middle of the second round is a great pick. But obviously, they didn't have their first. That was property of the Rams, who we'll get to. So I don't have much to say about the rest of this draft, other than the fact that I really like the Terrell pick. Like this
Uh,
analysis says, really good in press and a good frame, all that good stuff. So I would probably
Zachariah
just put him in B.
Branch, that's yeah, I'd agree with B. Branch is really good value too because he dropped.
Yeah.
Um, he was the 40th overall ranked player by ESPN. I don't know if that's going off like a bunch of people making a consensus or just one journalist, but
I'm sure it's a.
he was good. I remember I remember wanting the Giants to maybe draft him if he was there at a certain pick because he's very similar to Wandale. But so that's good value. So I would agree with the fact that they don't have a first round pick really bumps them down. So let's put them in B. I agree with you.
And the fact that I guess nothing's gonna come out of the James Pierce thing, using his car as a battering ram to try to kill somebody. I guess it pays it pays to be good at football. So I guess they'll get to keep James Pierce Jr. in his double-digit sack production. So good for them, I guess. But now we move to
Insanity.
my
Insanity.
yeah. Now it's my Baltimore Ravens. I basically spent months, the months leading up to the draft, wanting this player, Oliver Vega Owane, and it's not because James Franklin recruited him, who is now Virginia Tech's head coach, but it is because I saw that footage of Owane lined up at as a slot wide receiver, runs in motion and flattens somebody. I saw that video and I was like, need that, okay? Any fan of the Ravens will tell you how much of a nightmare Daniel Falele was at right guard. And Andrew Voorhees at left guard really wasn't any better. Voorhees knew what he was doing and just couldn't do it. Falele didn't know what he was doing. I mean, you go on Twitter and
Yeah,
type in his name and you'll find some of the most egregious. Now a New York Giant, of course, because John Harbaugh scouted him when he was 16 and needs to be proven right, I guess. That's that CEO ego coming back to strike. But anyway, so I guess my point is, even if I think Awane is going to be really good. Even if he's not and is just okay, that's still a dramatic upgrade over what they had before. So that's a huge
yeah,
problem solved. Everyone's making their jokes because apparently DaCosta had a plan in place to trade down, and the other team backed out, and they're like, "Hey, you know what it's like?" But I'm glad that happened because it sounded like we would have traded down. We wanted Kenyon Sadiq, a tight end, which would have made me crash out to unbelievable levels if we traded down for him. If we traded down and got Ruben Bain, I would have been okay with it, even though we wouldn't have gotten him because Tampa wanted him. So I'm
yeah.
glad it panned out that way. I'm glad Jesse Minter pounded the table and said, get protection for the quarterback. So that was an A-plus pick. The rest of this draft, I'm a little split. Zion Young is a nice depth piece at pass rusher. You never know if he has a breakout year. Jacoby Lane, kind of a big body, which I've been complaining about the Ravens not having ever since Lamar Jackson became the quarterback. But a lot of question marks with
hmm
him. And then another receiver right after that. I like the Chandler Rivers pick, but Adam Randall was a pick made by the team owner. Like the owner just wanted to make a pick, and he picked Adam Randall, the running back, the wide receiver turned running back. A tight end that was overdrafted. I mean, I think the first couple of picks are great, and I think I like Chandler Rivers, but a lot of it definitely doesn't blow me away. I think it should go, considering they filled some of their biggest needs, like depth at receiver and an offensive guard. I'd probably give them A. I don't think it's good enough to be S because some of these picks sort of concern me. But if Awane can make an impact right away, that I guarantee you that notches at least one extra win on the Ravens board this season.
I'd probably give them B, but they also had a lot of draft picks. I'm looking at this. So
Which I'm kind of sick of
yeah,
the GM
one's
using them all. By the way, I mean make a trade.
yeah, they
We
had
wanted
11.
we wanted the center, Spencer Jones, I think is who it was, and I think Chicago took him.
A is if you want to put them in A, put them in A, and if we're doing the tiebreaker thing, I think it's a B draft.
Well, the
But
tiebreaker goes to me, so they go in A. I won't mess with an order. At least he'll look good because our new uniforms are sex. But anyway, next in line, who is it? Buffalo,
Buffalo.
Buffalo, Buffalo, Buffalo. Brandon Beane does what Brandon Beane does best. He hogs his first round pick, and picks an overachieving, high floor, low ceiling defensive player that won't make a difference for a Buffalo team that is trapped in the in postseason purgatory. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know everything about T.J. Parker. Maybe he could be really good. I also feel like this is his pro comp here is Trey Hendrickson. So if the Bills just pick Trey Hendrickson, they are in a pretty good shape. But look at the rest of this draft. Corner, tackle,
Not looking
receiver. They
amazing.
picked a punter, which sometimes punters win you games. So I don't
That's
have
true.
a whole lot to comment about this draft. I just think it's ridiculous because this pick could have been Jalen Waddle, and they would have had him last year for their playoff push. Now I don't know if that would have made a difference because Josh Allen lateraled the ball to Casper the Friendly Ghost, but you never know if having Jalen Waddle makes that difference. And then
Yeah.
you would have had him for this coming season and beyond. But instead, you wanted to keep your pick, which became T.J. Parker. So that's why I'm going to be a little harsher on Buffalo's draft because if Parker's not
Yeah.
really good, in the back of every Bills fan mind, it's going to be this could have been Jalen Waddle. Instead, we picked another Greg Rousseau
Yeah.
and another Keon Coleman's too harsh. I mean, he's not that bad, but
I'd
another.
They picked Skylar Bell, a UConn guy, so I'm into that. I think he was better than a fourth round pick, honestly. I think he could have gone like third round. Um I'd give this like a C. There's nothing here that excites me for the Bills.
Yeah, I just don't like. I don't like. I just don't like that they held on to this pick and instead of just trading
Yeah.
for Waddle. I think the draft in some instances is becoming overrated. I think GMs need to be willing to trade some picks for proven quality players, especially when you have an all-world quarterback that with the right roster you could win the Super Bowl. I mean, you gotta push for it at some point. We don't have
Yeah.
the 25th overall pick. Okay,
It's also
Miami
kind of
was willing to.
ridiculous.
I mean,
It's
I don't
it's
care.
ridiculous that they're gonna just like let the Patriots get AJ Brown. It's
Well,
like they
after dealing with Stephon
they should
Diggs,
be all in on that.
after dealing with Stephon Diggs, I don't know if they want to open that can of worms again. Um,
It just kind of comes with the territory of like
not,
receivers. It just
not,
sometimes happens,
not
but
always.
but you're
We'll
gonna.
see.
I mean, you're receiver needy, and you're gonna let your division rival get a player that you could very well trade for. I
What's good
just
is,
think it's kind of. We'll talk about it
yeah,
another time once the trade's official, but I don't know.
yeah. We could
It
talk
just
about the
shows the
Patriots.
Bills.
We could
It just
talk about
shows
the
the
Patriots.
Bills front office is kind of. It's just like incompetent to me.
The Bills
Um,
lucked into an all world quarterback, and it makes people forget
yeah.
that they're run by idiots. Like it makes people forget. People forget that Terry Pagula is still the owner, and he's been the owner. I mean,
Yeah.
he ran the Buffalo Sabres into the ground, and now they're finally good again because Pagula seemed to have backed off a little bit. Same thing with the Bills, and you fire the coach because of the playoff game, but you also only lost the playoff game because you allegedly got screwed. but you're going to keep the GM because Keon Coleman wasn't your pick, but also Keon Coleman's still on the team, and the best yet to come for Keon Coleman. They're not prepared. That franchise is
Yeah, they're
not.
not well
That
run.
franchise was not prepared to have a Hall of Fame quarterback stumble into their organization and lead them to success. And that organization wasn't ready to take that next step like the Chiefs were. The Chiefs were ready to take that next step once they got the right QB. Even the Bengals got Chase and Higgins and were able to have an overachieving defense. Buffalo wasn't ready. And I think this draft sort of cements that. But we can move on to the next team, which
Yeah. So we put them
is
in C. Put them
yeah,
in
they're in
C.
C, which might be generous. Honestly, I'm being generous because at least
Carolina.
I'll give Buffalo a little bit of flack because they can draft like high floor guys. But anyway, Carolina, Monroe Freeling. I thought this was a great value pick for Carolina. I did not think he would fall to 19th
Mm-hmm.
overall. Obviously, you want to protect your
Yeah.
quarterback. I think this season will be a big sign for what Carolina is because I don't know if the franchise would agree. They're obviously not that good, but I think making the playoffs and playing the Rams close could make them think they're closer than they are. But they added Jalen Phillips for a 9-figure contract, and they got protection for Bryce Young, Monroe Freeling, who I think could also play guard for them for Carolina, or maybe I'm thinking of someone else. But they went and got the tackle. I like the Sam. I will say this: I like the Sam Hecht pick, the Kansas State center. I think that's a solid get.
Mm-hmm.
So they picked 2 offensive linemen, defensive tackle, another wide receiver, Chris Brazell out of Tennessee, who
Yeah.
first team All
Um,
SEC, 1,000 yards, good acceleration. His pro comp is Christian Watson, so if you get a
he's
Christian
tall.
Watson in the third round, you're doing well. I like this draft for Carolina. I think they're in the mix to win the NFC South next year. I would give him an A.
I'd give him an A. Lee Hunter's a good player. He's a good. That's going to be a good body for them to have in the middle. I
I
agree.
do.
A is
I do
good.
think. I do think the Panthers need to be careful as to not like overrate themselves. If that makes any sense, they don't need to be out there burning future draft picks for a veteran because they made the playoffs. They can still win 8 games.
Mm-hmm.
But that takes us to
Yeah.
Chicago. They
Who
got
went
Dylan.
very? They went very need based those first 2 rounds.
They really needed secondary because I think that that secondary was, how do I put this? Overrated is not the right word. I don't think they were bad, but I do think they punched above their weight a little bit because of turnovers. Like Nashon
The
Wright had 5.
turnovers.
Yeah. So they got Dylan Thieneman, they got Logan Jones. Thieneman was supposed to go to Minnesota, but I guess they just didn't want him.
Yeah, I
So
saw basically every mock draft. I had him going to Minnesota.
I want to say I did too, but I'm not positive. But
Um,
I'd probably go with another. I don't know. Getting Logan Jones in the second round is pretty good too.
yeah.
I don't know much about
Like I
any of
said, they
these other
really
picks. I would go,
drafted another tight end. They probably
huh? This
you
is the
know
first.
that
I think this is the first team you could consider for S. Maybe S is too nice, but I think Dylan Thieneman is a Thieneman or Thieneman, whatever it
I
is. I think he's going to be pretty good because he was
it's
supposed to
one
go
of
to
them.
he was he was supposed to go to
Uh
Minnesota.
we could give them
I'll go A.
because remember this is
I'll go A.
yeah
I have some teams in mind for S, and A is probably too. A is probably.
Bungles,
Oh well, this is
Bungles,
another
Bungles,
weird one.
Bungles.
They did not have a first round pick. Obviously, it was sent to the Giants
Us.
for Dexter. Cassius Howell, another project player. Oh, maybe not. He was productive. Takario Davis, a corner. I mean, they picked a lot of defense. I hate to do this with a team where I don't really know much about the players they drafted because it feels kind of harsh. But this team can't draft. I mean, is it mean of me
I
if I
don't
give them?
trust them.
Is it mean of me if I just give them a low grade because I don't trust Cincinnati to make good picks? Like, because I'm
Yeah,
so
yeah. Like I don't know. They drafted like in round because it says they had the 8th pick in round 3. They drafted the 115th overall ranked player.
I mean seriously. And then 104th
Like
overall ranked in the 4th round, which was a better pick. I mean,
Yeah.
Maybe I'm being a little bit too extreme. They did get the 30th overall ranked player at 41, which I guess is solid value in Cassius
I'd give,
Howell.
yeah, but then you just have all these late round picks. You're drafting. You're really, yeah. Like the rest of these guys, like I see one starter, and then the rest of these guys are like backups to me.
So we think it's
I'd give
C or
them like
D.
I'd give them like a C.
All right,
What do you think? C or D? Because this is
I go
kind of
C.
more looking at this. This is a crappy draft.
I go C. I think Connor Liu could be a good. I think Connor Liu could be a good get, but that's about it.
Okay, sure.
All right. So maybe I'm a hypocrite to sit here and say that I'm giving a team a low grade because I don't trust them. Because now we get to the next team, and it's the Cleveland Browns. I really, really liked the Browns draft. As much as I don't
Yeah,
like
this
to
was a
admit
good
it,
draft.
much as I don't like to admit it, they entered this draft with two huge needs: offensive line and wide receiver. And I imagine if Carnell Tate was there at 6, they would have taken them. And I assumed he would have been. And I assumed Carnell Tate would be a
Yeah,
Cleveland Brown.
I had him
But
going to Cleveland.
when Carnell Tate got sniped by the Titans, they go and get Spencer Fano, one of the more versatile offensive linemen in this draft. He played both tackles. He played both tackle spots, and he could play guard as well. So, because
Yeah,
he doesn't have very his length isn't all that great, so he might have to move to guard. But they got a versatile offensive lineman in the first round, and I really like the Casey Concepcion pick at Texas A&M.
yeah,
And I also, unfortunately, I really liked the Denzel Boston pick. I was hoping
yeah,
that the Ravens would get Denzel Boston in the second round, and then Cleveland sniped him. I think four or five
yeah,
picks before. So that's 3 picks in a row that I really like, and that gets to, and then Taylor Green in the 6th round. I'm not saying he's going to be good because
yeah.
he's kind of like Anthony Richardson.
And then
This says his pro
yeah,
comp is Justin Fields. Honestly, if you get Justin Fields out of a 6th round pick, that's fine. You could throw him in the preseason
yeah.
or something, and if there's injuries, send him on a quarterback draw. Good things could happen. This might
Yo,
be. It feels
they
weird to
got
say this on
Justin
the.
Jefferson. Look, they got Justin Jefferson.
You BSing me?
No, look at the 5th round. They got Justin
Oh, I
Jefferson.
thought you were trolling. Oh, that's right. They
I
picked a guy
was
named Justin
trolling.
Jefferson. No, that's right. I
Yeah,
remember that they picked a guy named Justin Jefferson. Yeah, you're so funny. Anyway, and that gets into like the ballad of Andrew Barry, because it's not like he can't evaluate talent. I mean, he's had some very really good picks in like middle rounds, and it's not like he can't evaluate talent, but then he'll do something so mind-boggling. Like I don't know how much of a hand he had in the Watson trade. Had to have been something in there, right? So
yeah,
I always flip flop if Andrew Barry is a good GM, but I really like this draft. I'm debating S tier as much as I hate to admit it, but I
I'd
really,
go S.
yeah, that's a great first 3 picks from
Yeah,
Fano to Concepcion to Denzel Boston. And
yeah,
hell,
I'd go S.
if one of those receivers hits, they're in great shape. But we go from one team in S to maybe another. We go to the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I
I've
hate to say it.
yeah, I've said it for a while that if they can get an impact defensive player with one of their first round picks, that they're a contender. Like, I'm not saying they'll win the Super Bowl because they tend to blow it within the
Yeah,
first 2 playoff rounds, but Caleb Downs is one of the. I would argue. This says he's ranked 6th. I'd argue it might be the 3rd best player in this draft after Reese and
yeah,
Jeremiah Love. I think that's a fantastic ad for Dallas because they really needed secondary. Then they get Malachi Lawrence, an edge rusher. Let's see. Edge again, tackle, corner, edge, wide receiver Anthony Smith from East Carolina in the 7th round. So, big fan of Dallas's draft. They flipped one spot with Miami to guarantee that they would get Caleb Downs. So, I would definitely give them S tier because I thought Caleb
yeah,
Downs I thought he'd be a giant. I thought they'd pick him 10th, honestly.
yeah. I want. I wanted Caleb Downs really, really badly. Anthony Smith making the switch from UFC to wide receiver this late in life. I'm proud of him. Yeah,
I totally,
I'd
I totally got that
unfortunately
reference.
give. There's just a UFC fighter named Anthony Smith.
I think
Um,
I think there's a lot of
I
people named
would
Anthony
give.
Smith.
Yeah, but he's the most famous one.
Okay.
I'd give them an S, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's okay. They'll go 12-5
Oh,
and then lose the first playoff game. It's okay.
the
Denver.
Broncos.
They didn't pick until the
This is
third. They didn't pick until the third round. They had a bunch of late
that's
picks.
rough.
I'm sorry, casual alert. I don't know anything about any of these players. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend to.
I
Jonah
I heard
Williams.
about this. I heard about this defensive tackle because after we traded Dexter, and of course DT was still a position of need. So I did hear of this guy because people were just running through a million scenarios where the Giants got a defensive tackle in the draft. I'd give this draft an F. You don't pick
If
for
yeah,
you
it
missed
feels
the
harsh
60 something. Yeah, but that doesn't, of course, the Broncos are a good team. This
because we
draft
were
isn't going to make or break them, but
because I was just
on,
clowning Buffalo for not trading for Jalen Waddle, but the Broncos did trade for Jalen Waddle. So it feels wrong to give them a bad grade because they traded their pick for Jalen Waddle when I made fun of the Bills because they didn't trade their pick for Jalen Waddle. Like I don't know.
yeah. Well,
Technically, Jalen
we're
Waddle.
just basing
Technically,
it, we're
uh,
basing this just off their draft. So I would give them an F just because it's like, you miss out on the top 70 whatever players. It's like, you can't give that team a good grade.
but it's okay,
You
honestly.
picked more.
I mean, if I'm the Broncos, I'm
Yeah.
chilling. You got Jalen Waddle. That's a big impact player that they really needed on their offense. So
No,
the
it is, but
draft
they
is an F,
just,
but
yeah. So the draft's an F. That doesn't mean anything about the Broncos. The
the
Broncos are so
odd
good.
the odds that this draft class makes an impact on their team is minimal. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
But now
Detroit.
they're another interesting one. They're a team that is okay. Did you see the story about what Zay Flowers said about John Harbaugh? About how they were in full
I did
practice
not.
pads. He was basically saying that they were in full pads like throughout the whole season, and in week 17 were having contact practice, and they felt gassed like late in the season. And I sat there, and I said, "Well, that can't be right. If they were going guns a blazing in practice, then by the playoffs they'd be, oh, that was like the joke I made." But then I thought, and then I saw someone else say, if this is the sentiment, maybe we need to look at the Lions too, as a team that they've been injured so much these last couple of years. Maybe that's a part of it. And they really felt the hurt this past season when they got hammered by injuries and didn't make the playoffs. And they really needed to
Hmm.
get big because let me put it this way: I went on this tangent about Buffalo, how every team kind of has like an identity.
Hmm.
This isn't just the Lions, but I feel like it's all Detroit sports teams. They take pride in being tough, like toughness and grit.
Yeah.
The Tigers are the gritty Tigs or whatever, and they take pride in being like a tough, physical, gritty group of guys. And I see the Lions feeling the need to reclaim that by picking Blake Miller because it reminded me of that game they had against the Rams when in Week 1 when Goff was playing poorly and in overtime they were in danger of losing, but they got the ball first and they quite literally ran the Rams out of the building. They just went run, 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 game over, and there's nothing the Rams could do about it. So I respect the Blake Miller pick because it's the Lions wanting to go back to their roots of out muscling people because they lost
Yeah, but
Ragnow, so they need to get big again.
sure, but they picked the
I mean, this says they
52nd
reached.
ranked player at 17. Yeah, they did.
I
I remember draft night, everybody was like, "What?" I
I
don't even
really
know if this
like
guy was like on the phone.
I
Like, was he
really like
even
the
after?
Derek Moore
Was he
pick.
at the draft?
I think he was. I might be wrong.
Yeah.
Um, Derek
Um,
Moore, I
yeah,
like.
Derek Moore. That's good. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, let's read this pre-draft analysis on Blake Miller. Um, first team All ACC 2 years in a row. Snaps record. Consistency, doesn't have great foot quickness, and his lack of flexibility can lead to average run blocking. Well, his length and pass protection comes in handy though. So he's more of a pass blocking offensive lineman, which kind of goes against my whole point about wanting to run teams out of the building. But anyway, I can't sit here and give you a grade on Blake Miller. But in terms of positional value and in terms of filling needs, I really like it. I mean,
It was. I get it, but it was a huge. It was a
because
big reach from what
because
it
they're losing
seems.
because they're losing Taylor Decker.
Yeah, I'd give them a B just because I get what you're saying, but
I would be fine to go to C because Blake, it was a reach. I think they're probably in that Buffalo
okay, we could go to
Cincinnati.
C.
They're in that Buffalo
Yeah, I'd go to.
Cincinnati. Yeah. All right.
Okay,
Well,
then C it is.
shout out
C's
Blake
fine.
Miller. Okay, Green Bay. This is another team we can be quick on. They didn't have their first round pick because it was Micah Parsons. Brandon, I don't know how to pronounce that. Sice, however you say it.
Cisse, probably Cisse,
However you say it.
because
He is,
the
what's his height and
SSE
weight?
makes like a say.
Yeah,
He
six
is
feet,
6 feet tall.
189 pounds, skinny boy. Corner,
He's
South
good. He's
Carolina.
legit.
Yeah,
He's legit. Yeah,
they really do need a
I
DB because
watched this
obviously
guy's. Yeah.
without Jair, he was past his prime. Then he got traded. Now he's retired basically.
Mm-hmm.
Who's in their secondary? I'm brain farting for Green Bay.
I don't fucking remember. Xavier McKinney's there. I know.
He's a safety.
Uh,
Point is he can
yeah.
start day one straight, which is what they need.
Yeah.
A potential
And
day
then
one
they lost.
starter.
What's his the defensive tackle? He went to Dallas.
Kenny
They
Clark.
drafted a defensive. Yeah,
Well,
they
no,
drafted a defensive tackle around 3.
Kenny Clark was in the Micah
Um.
trade.
Oh. Okay.
A lot of
I'd give
defense.
them a defense. Edge rusher, center, corner again. I'd give them like I'd give them like a
I'll go C,
B,
B,
C.
B, C. I don't really care. I'll be
Yeah,
honest
just
about it.
because that their second round pick I feel like was really good value,
So we'll
and
go B.
it could help them a lot right away. Yeah,
That's
I'd
fine.
go B.
All right. Who's next?
Houston. Houston
Houston
had a
for the I think
very
this is a
good.
slam dunk for the fourth year in a row. They're like, hey, we need to get this offensive line right
Absolute.
for the fourth year in a row.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Kalen Rutledge followed by Caden McDonald is an insane 1-2 punch. The rest of this
Yeah.
draft I don't know
I
much
wanted.
about, but whoa,
I
McDonald.
wanted the Giants to get McDonald.
That was a first round pick. I think
Yeah.
McDonald is better than the offensive lineman they took, and they got him in the second round.
Yeah.
Hey, it's pro comp is Travis Jones. Hey, if you get Travis Jones in the second round,
Second round.
not quite as good as getting
Yeah.
Travis Jones in the fifth round, but hey, second's pretty good too.
And then this Marlon Klein, another second round pick. Schultz is only getting older. It's probably good to invest in tight end when you can, when someone solid's there. I'd give the Texans an S.
He has a good build. I'm not sure if I'd. Here's the question. I don't think they're better than the Browns in terms of their draft. Is it close enough, or do you think? Because part of me thinks there's a gap between them and the Browns.
I think it's close enough because they got the best player at a position in the second round.
Fair enough. I'll roll with it.
That's what I think.
I love watching the Texans defense. So hey, if they want to dominate some more, I'm not going to complain. But now we go to the Colts, who, I mean, C.J. Allen, his pro comp is Roquan Smith under Georgia Bulldog, and this Roquan Smith, he was ranked 45th, and he was taken 20? Oh, this is a second round pick. Oh, Sauce Gardner. Duh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this also wasn't. This is another team with no first round pick because they went to. And then the next team we're going to talk about, Jacksonville, also doesn't have a first round pick. So maybe we could speed through these next two.
I'd go D.
Positional value. I mean, linebacker, safety, guard, linebacker again, and then 2 edges in the 5th and 6th rounds, respectively. Seth McGowan from Kentucky could be a decent find in the 7th. I might go, maybe not F. I know I was just making fun of people for talking about positional value with Jeremiah Love, but the positional value for the Colts draft was rough.
Yeah, I'd go D.
Yeah.
Just because they over the Broncos, because at least they had a second round pick, but there's nothing here that kind of makes me be like, oh yeah, Colts.
Okay, another team with no first round pick is
Why
Jacksonville.
why don't the Jags have a first round pick? Did they traded up for Travis Hunter, right?
Yeah, so the Browns had it.
Last year? Yeah.
Yeah, it was the Browns.
Oh yeah.
So and
Okay.
they used that pick on a tight end, which is interesting. Seems like a raw prospect, a tight end. And he was ranked one overall, ranked
Position
one.
ish.
Whoa! Obviously, these ESPN rankings aren't gospel. Like you never know.
Yeah, but like
But
159
one
at
thirty
like
four.
what is that?
I guess
56?
50. Yes, 56th overall, third round. You got 134th overall in a defensive tackle guard. I don't like this draft.
Ish.
Well, Emmanuel Pregnan, that could be a decent find. ESPN ranks him high. 47th overall, got him late in the late third. That could
Yeah,
be a
but
good
they could
find.
have.
I really don't like their first two picks. Even when I saw that, I was like, the Jags picked a tight end. Like,
Ah, man, I'd give
I don't
them.
know. I'd go
I
F.
I
I'd
might
go
throw
F.
that in F.
Or
Yeah, that's rough.
maybe we can bump them up to D because I like the guard they picked. Does that get him out of F?
No, I don't think you could. I don't think you could draft the 159th ranked player in the second round and
That's
say you
crazy.
had anything higher than a F tier draft. I'm sorry. That was like I think the equivalent of that for the first round is when the Raiders drafted Clelin Ferrell or whatever. Like he was projected a second rounder and they used like the fourth pick on him.
Or when the Raiders picked Alex Leatherwood. Or when the Raiders picked Mike Mitchell. Or when the Raiders
Janikowski.
picked Janikowski. Or when they picked Darius Hayward Bay. Or when they picked you get it.
Yeah, I do.
The Raiders will be coming up soon. Kansas City Chiefs. Okay, finally things can get interesting. First, real quick, I've never heard of someone's name being R, just a letter. Have you ever heard of that
Oh,
before?
his
His
first name is, I think
R
it's R
Mason.
Mason.
No,
Yeah.
his first name is R space Mason, like just the letter R. I've
You
never.
know,
They gave an
We've got Kool-Aid McKinstry. I'm okay with nothing surprises me.
on draft day. Um, they when he got picked, they gave an explanation. I don't remember what it was, but we can talk about their first round pick, Mansour Delane. I think we
Legit.
both.
I love it.
I don't remember
I
where you
love it.
mocked him. I don't remember where you mocked him. I mocked him going to the Saints.
I I had him going to the Chiefs because I remember in my mock I had one where the Cardinals took Love at 3 and then I had one where the Saints traded up for Love at 3 because I heard that even
They
after
hate
they got Fournette, they really liked Love. So I was
Eternette.
thinking, yeah. What did I say?
You said Fournette. He's out of the league, buddy.
I was thinking of Leonard. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
know why
I,
I
I'm
said
sorry. I have a habit of
they.
correcting people.
No, I mean I'm glad you corrected me. I don't know why I was thinking like LSU. I was thinking of
Yeah.
Louisiana. That's why. But so I heard that there was still interest there. So that's when I was like, he's not getting past 3. But I had Delane go to the Chiefs. So I actually got that right player but wrong spot.
Here's
But
my thing.
I'm gonna admit Peter Woods is legit. I think he could have gone. I think he was deserving of a first round pick, but I don't know why you'd pass on a McDonald.
Oh, Chris Jones isn't getting any younger. I do want to say this about the Chiefs and corners. The Chiefs, the Chiefs to corners are like the Pittsburgh Steelers to wide receivers. They're really good at finding late finds, developing them into really good starters, and then shipping them off and where they can go suck. Okay, or varying degrees of sucking. You have Marcus Peters, who they drafted late, got a lot of value out of. Then traded him to the Rams. He looked awful. Got better in Baltimore, but they got him and they moved on. They picked L'Jarius Sneed, I believe, in like the middle rounds. Sneed's really good. He's making championship plays. Goes to Tennessee, awful. They get
Awful.
they get McDuffie. He's really good for a while. Has a not so great year. Flip him to the Rams for a first round pick. So my point is, it's very unlike the Chiefs to spend not just a first round pick, but a the sixth overall pick on a corner and trading up for a corner. It's very the Chiefs like to find a young undervalued
Diamond
corner
in
in
the
the mid
rough.
rounds and then draft him and let him go and find the next guy. Then let him go and find the next guy. It's the same thing the Steelers do with wide receivers. Mike Wallace, Juju, Emmanuel Sanders, blah, 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 blah. So I do question why the Chiefs would spend the sixth overall pick on a corner unless assuming they anticipate this guy to be the long-term answer. Because when was the last time the Chiefs had a
Yeah.
long-term answer at corner? It feels like they've always had at least one good corner,
I
but it's not. He's not there for the
yeah.
long haul. So that I find interesting. I'm not positive that they needed to trade up for him. Maybe they did. I mean, I thought he'd go to the Saints, so maybe they did need to trade up for him.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
Delane's
I
good. I'm
might
thinking
as well secure your guy, you
I
know?
wouldn't go S. Getting Peter Woods is
I'd
good
go because
too.
Peter Woods is still good.
Getting
Yeah.
Peter Woods
Then
is
this
good
they
too.
filled edge rusher.
Hey, Garrett Nussmeier in the
I'd
seventh
give
round.
him
You never know.
I'd give him like an A. I'd give him an A.
I'll go A because of Peter Woods. Adding on top of that.
Yeah.
Now we are in LA for the
The,
Chargers.
the Chargers.
Okay, I got confused for a second. They got an
Um.
edge rusher. They lost Odafe Owe to Washington for a nine-figure contract, so they drafted his replacement, Akeem Mesidor. Pro count D4. If you get prime D4, that's not bad. Ranked 18th overall by
Yeah.
ESPN. Jake Slaughter. I really liked the Brennan Thompson pick. I think that guy's going to be good. Getting him in the fourth round is good value because they really need a wide receiver. Because
Yeah.
Lad
Lad
McConkey had a
decided to not be good anymore.
I don't think he's cooked forever, but he definitely had a not great year. But
Yeah.
fourth round, good value receiver. They got an edge rusher. They don't have Minter anymore to magically turn him into a star after doing diddly squat with his previous team, like Odafe Owe, who's sob. But edge depth is always nice.
They filled out the O line nicely. In the sixth round, they picked two guards. They picked an OT in
They really need
the fourth
interior line.
round.
They really need a center too,
I
and they got Jake Slaughter. Yeah, that's a solid pick because they really need a center because Bradley Bozeman retired.
he was the top center.
And when he was
He
playing,
was the one ranked
Bozeman,
center.
another Ravens legend in Bozeman, he was awful. So I'd probably nothing about it wows me, but I think they filled holes. I'd probably go high B.
I'd go B.
All right,
B's good.
fair enough. Shout out to the Diet Ravens and the Los Angeles Chargers. But now the other LA team. Okay, this is what people
This is
have
another
been
one.
waiting for.
This is another.
Are you gonna
You could look at the server.
are you
I
gonna
called Ty Simpson before the pick.
you
I
did?
called it. Yeah, I called it.
Here's my question. Are you gonna defend this pick? I'm not.
I get it to an extent, but I don't know if like I get the mindset of okay, we're a good team. Our quarterback's aging. We might as well draft his replacement. He could learn for a few years. We're a good enough team. So I like the idea of it. Like I get the thought process. I just don't know if Ty Simpson was the guy to do that with.
See, I agree.
You know?
I agree with what you said because I see people saying you're a Super Bowl contending team. You need something to help you win now. The way I see it, odds are the 13th overall pick on this stacked roster. There's a good chance his impact isn't drastic. And Stafford is 38
Yeah.
years old. Stafford's 38. If you're lucky,
Yeah.
he's like a little better than Rodgers to the point where you might have a couple of prime years left.
Yeah.
But the Rams needed to consider that maybe I'm sure the MVP year is the best you're ever going to get from Stafford. Like it's probably downhill from here. So I
Yeah.
actually kind of like the Rams' idea of building for their future. I also don't think Ty Simpson is good. A quarterback gets overdrafted every year. Okay, Dart,
Yeah.
freaking
Kenny Pickett.
McCarthy, Penix, Nix, that entire the entire latter half of the 2024 quarterback class, they were all overdrafted. None of them should have been taken in the first round. Maybe McCarthy
I
32nd
don't think Dart.
in the
I think
moment.
Dart's good.
I think
Um,
Dart might be good. I think he got drafted a little high. I don't think Ty Simpson's good, straight up. And you spent the 13th overall pick on him. I don't hate the
I
idea.
don't know if he's. I
I
don't
don't
know
think
if
he's
he's
good.
not good. I just don't think he's played enough. It's not about his. I don't think it's about his talent. I think it's about his experience. He's played like, what was it? They said like 15 games. Yeah, 15 starts.
Dog, his pro
Threw
comp
for
is Mac
3,500.
Jones.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm not saying that means he's
I
gonna be Mac
like.
Jones, but
I like the. I like the idea of the pick, but I don't. Um, I think it's a big gamble.
I wouldn't
I
spend it on
think they
Ty
should have
Simpson.
tried to. I think they should have tried to replace. I forgot his name, but the left tackle they just lost. I think that would
Oh
have
yeah.
been because there's such a win now team that this was like really. This was out of character for them, and McVay was clearly not happy. Like I know people are saying, like, "Oh, you can't say that. Like you don't know what's going on in his head." If you saw he was like, "Hi, Ty," and then Ty's like, "Let's make history, coach," and he's like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, talk to you
Didn't
later,
Mc,
buddy."
didn't McVay be like no? Did he say something like that? I thought he did.
He was McVay. He was like, I haven't talked to like in the press conference. He looked so upset because he was like, "I finally have what." He's like, "We finally have like a prime pick," and then it was like, "You picked Ty Simpson."
I would go
They
F.
probably could have
I would.
gotten Ty Simpson. They probably could have gotten him in the second round.
I don't know about that. Some
Like,
team
who's
would have reached.
drafting?
Someone would have reached for him. Somebody.
You think?
Freaking.
I don't know.
Off the dome. Off
Who,
the
like the
dome.
Cardinals?
The Steelers. And they took
Oh yeah,
Allen.
that's true.
The
Actually,
Steelers.
yeah, Steelers could have picked him.
Arizona, like you just said. The Jets, maybe. Yeah, Teams could have traded up to the 30th pick or something and taken Simpson if they wanted to.
I
13th overall, and I don't think Simpson's
oh
good. I'm going F.
they did address OT. Their
You don't
tight end's a little iffy, but
you don't bank on late day two offensive tackles. You really don't. There are some positions where like
yeah,
throw in a flyer on a 5th round wide receiver. Take a flyer on a 5th round inside linebacker. You don't offensive tackles. You take early. You take them high.
yeah,
You shouldn't be banking on a 3rd round tackle.
and I kind of well, here's the thing. I also kind of say this to receivers, but I guess in a slightly different mindset. But OT is such like offensive tackle, left tackle, and right tackle. It's so valued. Like, why are you like? And I get third round is like I still consider third round like fair, like it's mid round, but you're still a third round pick. You could start in a lot of scenarios, but like why are you the 13th ranked offensive tackle?
No
You're still
feet,
a top 100 pick and you're the 13th ranked. It's like
footwork,
it's kind of yeah. Well, no, I'm just saying
yeah,
that goes for
size.
anyone ranked like that. You know what I mean?
The real quick, the Knicks are beating the Hawks by 53 points.
Let's
I
go.
guess we're gonna Knicks.
They
Anyway,
had Knicks up this is from 30 minutes ago. Knicks up by 61 on the Hawks' largest lead in NBA playoff history.
I got very close to
That's
picking the Hawks. I
crazy.
got very close to picking the Hawks. I'm really glad I didn't,
That's crazy.
because
I
the
think we
Hawks were hot.
have just because the
I
thing
go
is
F.
I like their second round pick a lot, but this is you can't pick Ty Simpson.
Yeah, I'm going F.
I'd put
I don't
yeah.
really like their other picks either. Straight up.
Yeah.
So now that takes us to the Raiders.
Raiders.
Obviously Mendoza seems
Yeah, it
like a
was
great
so
guy,
obvious.
Heisman winner. I was surprised. We all thought Jermon McCoy was going to be a 1st round pick, but I guess his medicals are a mess. So I like the
Yeah.
Raiders taking a flyer on him in the 4th round. If it doesn't pan out, fine, but the upside is there. I like this
Yeah.
draft in theory of Mendoza and McCoy. I don't know about picking a safety. I thought that was kind of a reach. And then an edge, and then a
Uh,
center, and then a corner again, and then McCoy. My thing with Mendoza, I do like that the Raiders will not be rushed to throw him into the fire right away.
because they have Cousins
With it,
now.
yeah, and that offensive line, and even with the addition of Linderbaum, is not good in pass protection. Linderbaum, it's kind of like, I'm not saying he's Evan Neal, but similarly to Evan Neal, Linderbaum is a fantastic run blocker and a not that great pass blocker. So I imagine whoever's playing quarterback for the Raiders will still be under a lot of duress because their line
Yeah,
still doesn't pass block all that well. But the fact that Mendoza doesn't have to start right away, on top of the intangibles, which I typically don't like that word, but the
yeah.
intangibles, which does matter. Um, I'm leaning. It's kind of difficult because the only pick that I'm confident will be good is Mendoza. I mean, Jermon McCoy,
Uh,
if he can be healthy, I think Jermon McCoy is a snipe, but that's also a massive if, and it almost seems he fell from a mid first round pick to the fourth round, like that clearly something's wrong with him. So
um, well, just because McCoy is still, he was still ranked the second best corner in this class. I know he missed a lot of time. I'd give him a B just because they were able to take advantage of McCoy dropping. They addressed a few other positions, like they drafted a center, and Mendoza. I think Mendoza's legit.
I mean,
I'd
they
give him
got
a
the.
B.
I go A. You got Mendoza. I mean, shoot.
Okay, we could go A.
There you go.
We could go A.
All right.
Yeah.
So now we are in. Oh
Miami.
gosh, Caleb
I
Downs was in their lap, and they traded down to pick the
one
third-ranked
pick.
tackle at the 12th overall spot. What the hell?
Lad was crashing out.
What Dolphins fan wasn't crashing out? Caleb Downs fell to
um,
them, and they traded down to pick the third-ranked offensive tackle.
well, it's not that I think Proctor's good. It's just like I don't think they should have done
Eek.
that.
You don't say. I mean, I understand wanting to get protection for your quarterback. Jacob Rodriguez, I
Yeah,
think, was a nice pick. Bit of a combine
I
freak, bit of
think
a combine
I
merchant, but I
think
think that was a good pick.
Johnson. I think Chris
I like
Johnson. I think good player, bad pick
I like the Chris Bell.
there.
I like the Chris Bell pick. I think that was a snipe. Coming off an injury,
Jacob
caused him to fall.
Rodriguez is a good pick.
I don't like the
Rodriguez is a
first.
good pick.
I don't like the first round pick, but I like the rest of it. The rest of it's solid. I'd go,
Yeah.
and Proctor could still be good. I'd go B. I like
No, I
Chris.
like no. I was saying I think Proctor and Johnson are good players. I just don't know if they should have gone at those spots.
I'd
You
give him
know,
a B. I think it was decent.
B's fine.
And
B's
Proctor could
good.
still be good. It's not like Proctor's going to be a bad
Mini,
player because you didn't take Caleb
mini,
Downs. Oh, Minnesota.
Minnesota.
So they announced the other day that they're going to they're going to begin their search for a new GM. So I guess they did this draft without a GM. Did they have Quessie's draft analysis and just ran with it? Because that could explain why they reached for freaking Caleb Banks at 18th overall.
This is I hate
Massive
this.
reach. The Vikings last few years, their drafts have been atrocious. Honestly, they can't
Dude,
draft
I'd give this
last
like
few
an
years.
F.
I'd go D.
I'd
I
give
mean,
this
it's not
an
like Caleb
F.
Banks can't play,
No, Caleb
but
Banks is good, but it's like you had the two guys who I think were clearly better than Banks right there.
that alone doesn't put
McDonald
you
and
in.
Woods.
I mean, that alone doesn't put you in F. Well, pro comp Javon Kinlaw, that's not good. You don't want that.
Um.
I'd go D. I think F is
Okay,
harsh.
we could go.
But
Okay, we could go
I'm
D.
very unimpressed by what the Vikings did. And hopefully their new GM can. Rick Spielman could draft, but then he threw his money on Kirk Cousins, and that got him fired. And Quessy can't draft, and that got him fired. So, best of luck. Now we go to New England. Oh,
Patriots.
New England. Do we dare touch the Vrabel stuff, or should we just let that ride?
No, no, he's
Oh,
he
Vrabel.
went to counseling apparently. Like
Vrabel.
I don't.
I love Diane
Yeah.
Rossini's post of "I did nothing wrong. I'm innocent. So to prove how innocent I am, I'm quitting my job." But anyway, Off topic. We're here to talk about
Um,
Jam Miller, the 7th-round running back out of Alabama, who was ranked 203rd. That's what this show is about, baby. It's about football. Screw the extramarital affairs. Screw to hell with Mike Vrabel's therapy and Diana Russini's
um,
Twitter account being deleted. Caleb
yeesh.
Lomu, offensive tackle.
At least be more like subtle about it. They were like in public when they were like
Let's go to the bar.
like
Let's go
in
to the bar. Who's gonna notice? Who's gonna
no
see?
one's gonna recognize us. We're not public figures.
No one will recognize me, head coach who was just in the Super Bowl. Who's gonna know me? Ginormous, buff, former NFL player, 3-time champion.
Ridiculous.
Right under the radar, baby. At least wear like a fake mustache or something.
I kind of don't like this draft.
I don't either.
This sucks.
Low moon, baby.
I don't think it was. I don't think you should have drafted an OT here. You can't. I don't think you give up on Will after like.
Yeah.
I don't. I think that was a very poor decision.
They didn't get a safety. They didn't get a defensive tackle.
No,
But they did get a quarterback in the 7th round, and they got a tight end.
Good.
They got another tight end.
I'd give this like a D, man.
I'll go D as well. Pause.
Yeah, this is a crappy draft.
Not very moved.
Nolans. Now Nolans had a good draft. I like that.
I am liking what the Saints are cooking. Shuck.
I'm
Kellen
liking
Moore.
it too.
Olave's finally getting another receiver to leave him the hell alone for once. ETN. Kelvin Banks and Fuag on the line. The Saints could be pretty darn good next year. And it's not if for Jordan Tyson. I talked about this with one of my buddies earlier when we did the mock draft.
Yeah, Christian Miller.
When I did the mock draft with Jordan Tyson. He has an injury history, but the thing is with Jordan Tyson, his injuries aren't related to each other. Like, it's not one thing getting hurt over and over. So there's reason to believe that Jordan Tyson can stay healthy in the NFL. And, I mean, no edge rusher.
Yeah.
No edge kind of is unfortunate, but like you said, Christian Miller, good pick.
Yeah. Delp. I always like when a team with a good tight end addresses like in the draft brings in another like kind of fairly high ranked tight end. Like I think it's good to have a 1-2 punch there.
Yeah.
I'd give them an A.
I agree.
I like this a lot. I like it a lot.
Giving Shuck another quality receiver to throw to, I think, could be what takes him over the top in the NFC South. A lot of A's. This is definitely a very balanced tier list. The Giants.
Now my guys.
The Giants. When these picks were announced, you hated it. And then you had some time to
I
sleep
crashed
on it
out.
a little
I'm
bit.
just so this is why I hated. So this is why I didn't like the Reese pick at first. I honestly, like, I'm going to be completely honest. I didn't even bother. Like, I was so focused on what the Giants and the teams kind of immediately drafting around them were going to do that I didn't even watch because everyone projected Reese going to the Jets. So I didn't even watch his. Yeah, I did too. So I didn't even really watch his tape. Like, I think they kind of label too many guys as edge rushers. Because he's really more of like he's really more just like an outside linebacker.
I'd rather they want him to play linebacker and not edge rusher.
What?
I'd rather the Giants want him to play like off ball.
Yeah, they do. He's had more snaps off ball than he's had more snaps off ball than anything else.
An off ball linebacker 5th overall when he's an edge. Oh my god, I don't know, man. I think y'all should
But he's not.
I think y'all should trade Thibodeau, get something out of it, and go Reese, Abdul Carter, and Brian Burns, and have three potential forces on your pass rush, in my opinion.
Well, it's not that he's not going to rush at all, but he like look at this. Hold on, I'm sending it to you.
Your initial reaction when they picked Reese was quote "fuck, I hate my life."
Yeah, because I wanted down so bad, but he's really more. He's very versatile. He's really more of a he is more of an off-ball linebacker. He's a good he's still a legit pass rusher, but um,
He has an
you
elite
know,
skill set. His pro comp is Abdul Carter.
yeah,
Go
that's
figure.
funny. Um,
Um, Colton Hood, I think, was a
so
good pick.
I ended up love I now love the Arville Reese pick. I think that's going to be great for the Giants. I love the Francis pick. I love the Colton Hood pick. I think that was awesome. Um, I love the Fields pick. There were people projecting Fields to go in the first round or early second, but he had a crappy combine, so he dropped. They traded up for Fields. So I like that, a nice big body receiver. And then at least in the sixth round, they brought in three players that were positions of need. Um, I think the Giants should be an S.
Here's my thing. I like the players they picked. Reese, Mabigoa, Colton Hood, Malachi Field. I like the players they picked. I also don't like what the Giants seem to plan to do with them. Maui Goa, I imagine, will probably get some run at guard. And
I think
am
he'll
I
start out at guard.
so the 10th? I am playing the positional value game here when I was just making fun of people for doing that with Jeremiah Love. But anyway, the fifth pick is spent on what will primarily be an off-ball linebacker, more so than a pass rusher, and the 10th overall pick was used on primarily a guard. I like the players. I don't like what they're good at. What it sounds like they're going to do with them. I would go A.
No, I really think I think it's S.
I say we I say we flip a
Because
coin.
the thing is that um, this is gonna be. I'm kind of sick of these like sports casters and everyone like saying the Giants are automatically going to be so much better. This is going to be a growing pains year. Reese is still kind of like a project player. Marigoa also kind of like a guy that has been able to play at a lot of different positions. So I think they're going to end up being good players, but um, they got to figure everything out. But no, I think Edge is very misleading for Reese. He is really more like an off-ball guy that can still rush the pass very well. So after watching his tape, I think the Giants got the best player in the draft. Like I
Yeah.
would
I mean, I do too, but I don't think it's necessarily for what they're going to use him for. I agree they got the best player in the draft, but that's because of his abilities as a pass rusher, and they picked him to be more of an off-ball linebacker, which I don't like at all.
it's not, but he only had 6.5 sacks and
That
he
can
played
be.
the least, but he played the least amount. Did you see the thing I sent you?
No. Oh, I
No,
know
he
you
played
said. Hold on. Yeah.
he played
Yeah, his
651 snaps
versatility
and the
is
least was pass rushing.
his versatility was like one of his main drawing points, but
Yeah.
a lot of it's because he
But
was a
what I'm
really
trying to
good pass
s-
rusher with a versatile skill set.
but, but what I'm trying to say is it's not like he's not going to pass rush.
But that's not his primary.
Um
That's not his primary goal. It doesn't seem like that's what they want to
yeah.
focus on. And if you're in the NFL, if they're on your list of needs, number one is your franchise quarterback. Number two is to get their franchise quarterback. And they want to be an
Yeah,
off ball.
but what I'm trying to say is they drafted Reese wanting to do this thing with him, and he really is more of an off-ball linebacker. So I'd give it S.
I I don't care.
Um,
You know what? I don't care enough of this team to keep going back and forth. I'll just concede. But I don't necessarily agree. But hey, maybe Arvell Reese and Francis Maligoa won't be Neil and Thibodeau. Oh, fingers crossed. We'll see.
I hope not.
Yeah, maybe. But now we go to the Jets. So this is a weird one. I really, really
This is a weird
like.
one.
I really like the Omar Cooper pick. And even though I said I would have been upset if the Ravens took Kendon Sadiq, that doesn't mean I think Kendon Sadiq is going to be bad. I really like the Sadiq pick, and I really like the Omar Cooper pick. I don't love the David Bailey pick. I think it'll be good. I mean, he's got speed.
He's well, but that's what I. But this is kind of why David Bailey went over Reese because David Bailey is a real edge rusher. Like if you
Yeah.
like in this, like Reese wasn't even like I really disagree with kind of what you're saying. He's really not primarily a pass rusher. He's an off-ball linebacker that can that can pass rush. David Bailey is a pass rusher. So
Right.
that's why the Jets went Bailey. That's
I
why.
think my point is I think Reese's ability to rush the passer was like his
You're
selling
saying
point,
it puts him over.
even though it's
You're
not
saying that
what he
they should
did the
try it
most.
more.
Yeah, even though it's
Yeah,
not what he did the most.
sure.
And
But
versatility is
I
always
actually
great.
David Bailey's a great player though. It's not like I'm
Yeah,
not going to take that away from the Jets. Like he was the
Reese is
best
good. Talking about
pure
Reese,
pass rusher.
Bailey's good.
Bailey.
I would have taken Reese over
Um,
Bailey, but
I really like the Sadiq pick. I think that's going to be awesome for the Jets
I think
unless they jet him.
Omar
Omar
Cooper is going to be
Cooper's
really good.
awesome unless they jet him.
Yeah, that
Um,
is always possible.
yeah.
D'Angelo
Pons
Pons, decent. It's
I think
okay.
that's a good pick unless they jet some too. As long as the Jets don't jets all these players, I think it's like an A tier
Should we just put him in B because
draft.
it's? Should we just put him in B because it's the Jets?
No, I think it's
Okay,
A.
fine. I guess the
Yeah, I
Browns
think
are an
it's A.
S, so that doesn't make any sense. Philadelphia, the great heist of Mekhi Lemon from the Pittsburgh Steelers. I have seen people say that Mekhi Lemon is the next big thing, and I have seen people say that Mekhi Lemon is overrated and a bum. I'm not going to say bum, but
Did you see him bugging out at the comp? He was like, "Oh yeah, I
yeah,
can't
he
wait
was.
to get drafted." He was zoom.
Yeah,
He was he was so hot. like
yeah, that's probably why he fell. Um, I mean, hey, if it helps him play better, hey. But
does this confirm AJ Brown's gone?
pretty much, I think he's going to be
Um,
first round pick on a
I
wide receiver.
think
Otherwise,
I think the Lemon pick was a. I think it was a good. I think it was a good pick. Um. Oh wow, really? He was ranked position. This had him position rank 1 over Carnell Tate.
I
Really?
don't agree. I don't agree with that, but
I don't agree with that.
I thought
I remember I was saying to someone, they were like, Carnell Tate is so overrated. He's not even the best receiver on his college team. And I said, okay, sure. He's not the best receiver on Ohio State. He'd be the best receiver on like 240 college football teams.
yes. Well,
Like
sorry, he's not better than one of the best receiving prospects we've ever seen. Like, all right, bro.
ever. Yeah, that's such a stupid argument. Carnell Tate can be a wide receiver 1 in the
Yeah,
NFL and
and
is
Carnell
going to
Tate
be.
was on that the IMG Academy team that beat Bishop Sycamore. Do you know that?
No.
You you remember the whole fiasco?
No, I don't
What?
remember that.
Oh my god, look up Bishop Sycamore when we're done with this. That's crazy.
Okay.
Anyway,
Uh,
I'll
what
go
do you
A.
usually give the?
I'll
I'll
go
go
A.
A just because Lemon dropped so much and they sniped them.
We're giving a lot of A's. I don't think we'll be giving the Pittsburgh Steelers an A though because they spent the 21st overall pick on the 41st ranked player in an offensive tackle. Although it did fill a position of need
Yeah,
for the Steelers because Broderick Jones might never play again. He has a neck issue. So who knows if Broderick Jones will ever even play again,
yeah.
let alone this season. So it filled a need. If
Just looking
he's
at this, I'd give it like a C.
Drew Aller, I don't know about that. I liked Drew Aller for a time. I don't think I do, and I didn't after his last season. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm not a fan of those two picks. I'd probably go C as well.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously if they had
Seattle.
gotten if the Steelers had gotten Mekhi Lemon, they'd be higher, but they got sniped by Howie Roseman in
Mm-hmm.
the Howie heist. Now the Seattle Seahawks, and I just clicked out of the
Jadarian
tab.
Price. I think it's funny too. Notre
Jeremiah
Dame.
loves backup. That's cute.
They had the 1 and the 2 ranked running backs.
I feel like they.
Well,
I
he's still
don't.
good. He's
So
still good.
so this is the opposite of the Cleveland Browns. On paper, I really don't like these picks. I thought they should have taken Avion Terrell over the running back. I know they lost Walker, but they should have taken a corner. But knowing the Seahawks and knowing John Schneider, I'm sure one of these guys will end up being a star because that's just how they operate. It goes
Yeah, I
back to the
trust
Legion of Boom
Schneider.
days. the first round pick is dumb, and then their fifth round defensive back becomes a Hall of Famer. So it's the opposite of the Browns because I don't like their picks on paper, but it doesn't mean one of them won't be really good. I say we meet in the middle and go C.
C's fine.
All right,
Yeah.
sounds great. Now we are at San Francisco. I
Niners.
don't like this at all. I do not like this at
This looks like
all.
crap.
76th ranked player at 33rd overall. An edge, a running back, a fourth round offensive tackle.
Oh,
They picked him.
geez. They went. Wow. They reached for Stribling. Oh my God.
Exactly. I mean, he's 6'2".
He's that's like yeah, that's like
I'm leaning F. Frankly, I don't. Maybe not
I'm
F.
gonna go F.
Yeah.
No,
I
I
did
go
not.
F. This
I'm
stinks.
baffled that they took Stribling. Is that Stribling? Is that to say? Yeah. I'm baffled that they took
Dribbling.
Stribling over Denzel Boston. Honestly,
I heard Dart wanted him because that was his guy from college.
Stribling.
I heard
Oh yeah, Ole Miss.
yeah.
Duh. I
Yeah, Ole
mean,
Miss.
I would have gone. I guess Omar Cooper was off the board, but yeah, I didn't like that pick. I'd go F.
They could have gone
And
Boston. Denzel
yeah,
Boston was still there.
They could have gone Boston, and knowing the 49ers will all be hurt anyway, so womp womp.
Yeah, the power plant or whatever is next
Yeah.
to them.
Do you remember that joke when Mike Evans signed? It said the electric substation looking at Mike Evans' ACL, and it's SpongeBob
And it
and
was
Squidward looking
Squidward.
at the Krusty Krab pizza. That's pretty.
I saw a funny one. It was like there's this guy that he smokes a bunch of meat and he always does like he'll take the meat and just shake it like this and it'll just fall apart. And it
Oh
was like
yeah,
Mike Evans' calf the second he steps on the field, and it was a turkey leg, and he went like this, and all the meat just
it's
fell
gonna
off.
fall off
Yeah,
because he's at the substation. That's unfortunate.
yeah.
I believe Tampa Bay
I
is
like
next.
Tampa's. Tampa
Ruben
had a good
Bain at
draft.
15th overall. Whoa. A lot of people wanted
That's a
Ruben
good
Bain. A
one.
lot of people wanted Bain in Baltimore. But I think they wised up and took the pass protection. But Ruben Bain is an insane find at the 15th overall pick.
Good pick.
I
Good
like
pick.
Josiah.
Good
I
pick.
like Josiah Trotter. I
Mm-hmm.
like
Levante
Keontae
David's
Scott.
gone, bringing a young
I
guy.
like Keontae Scott in the fourth round. Got 48th over. Yeah, literally, look at that. 48th overall ranked player, the fourth round. I think
I'd give yeah.
Ruben Bain alone gets them an A. I think the Scott. I really like the Scott pick. That might put him in S.
I'd put them in S.
Getting Ruben Bain at 14. Ruben Bain could have gone top 5 and it wouldn't have been crazy. And they got him 15th overall.
Some people had him going 2 to the some people.
Okay, that's pushing it,
But no, I'm just saying some people really thought that Bain was the
yeah.
best pure pass rusher. That's just saying a lot. So that's
Yeah.
that's a great pick. The Tennessee Titans.
They definitely surprised people when they took Carnell Tate. I liked the pick because the wide receiver room for the Tennessee Titans has been a graveyard for like 7 years now. So,
Yeah.
Cam Ward needs a playmaker. They've been picking offensive
He needed his
line.
guy.
They've been picking line over and over and over. Get a guy that can create, who can get separation, who can win at the line of scrimmage, a freaking consistent hands guy. Like, get someone who can make plays happen for your quarterback. I think that was a good pick. I'm not that into Keldrick Falk.
No, I don't know a lot about him.
He's kind of I hate the term raw underdeveloped, but he is kind of raw and underdeveloped. Great frame, but
yeah, I really like Anthony Hill. I was really high on Anthony Hill for a long time, and I think he's going to be good. He's a really good run stopper, a good run stopping linebacker. So I like this Titans class.
I feel like we're giving out too many A's.
I do.
Are we putting the Titans in A?
Yeah, but you also got to remember that a lot of these teams with with earlier first, second, third round picks are gonna get the good players. So, if we're basing it just off like draft grades, A's are kind of
Yeah,
It
and
just kind of happens.
now we end it with Washington. I know Sonny Styles is a highly sought after player going to this
I
combine.
honest,
I'm not that into it.
I think because a lot of Giants fans are pulling for Styles, and I was like, guys, I think he's a little overrated.
Athletic
Here's the thing:
freak.
he's a first round talent. He's a first round talent. I'm not taking that away from him, but he was like projected to go in the 15 to 20 range until the combine, and then you're saying then there's people saying like the Jets will pick him at 2. I think
Yeah,
that was
I'm not saying Sonny Styles is going to be Isaiah Simmons, but I get the Isaiah Simmons vibe of whoa, look how fast he is. He has 90 speed in Madden, guys. He ran a good 40. Like that doesn't mean he's going to be good. And I tr-
yeah.
I'm not saying it's going to be Isaiah Simmons. I'm not saying it's going to be Mike Mamula, but I always feel like the warning needs to be given. The combine can only tell you so much, and
Knicks put up 140. Sorry to cut you off.
is that game over yet?
Jeez. Yeah, it
51
just
points.
ended.
So it'll be the Knicks and the Celtics probably. Celtics will probably win that series, but you never know.
Eesh.
With that being said, Sonny Styles obviously brings a lot to the table. I'm not saying he's going to be bad necessarily, but the
Yeah.
rest of their draft doesn't interest me. I mean, Antonio Williams, I think is a
Didn't
decent
have a lot
free
of
agent.
picks. Didn't have a lot of picks.
Uh
B because Sunny
B.
Styles.
Yeah, we'll go B. All right, that is our
I
tier
go B.
list. Again, we are by no means draft diehards, so you can go ahead and yell at us if you don't like it. If any of you know everything about the draft and know who will be good and who won't be good, feel free to tell us how good the Ravens draft was and how bad the
Yeah.
Steelers draft
If
was.
you're all knowing, let us know how smart you are.
Yeah,
We
but we're
care a
not done
lot.
with this episode. Yeah, but we're not done with this episode. We are not done with this episode because a whole lot of stuff came out. We could talk about the NBA and NHL playoffs. Probably not. I mean, I guess we could spend 5 minutes on if the Pittsburgh Penguins should blow it up because I've read that Evgeny Malkin, obviously Malkin's a free agent, and I read that if he doesn't go back to Pittsburgh, he's going to sign with the Capitals. We don't know that for a fact. That would be fire if Malkin played for the
That,
Capitals.
that'd
But
be that'd be rough for the
shout out to the
steal for the.
shout
I
out
almost said steal it for the Penguins.
shout out to the Flyers. They'll probably get smacked by the Hurricanes in the second round, but I'm glad that an actual good team beat the 41-41 hockey team that only got in because they got a bunch of loser points, and that teams like the Capitals and the Islanders and the Devils, who are better than them, didn't make it. But
Yeah,
I'm not bitter at all. What are you talking about? I'm not bitter. You're
I
bitter.
kind of I hate the
Um,
point system.
it's stupid. Maybe we could talk more about it when the first round is over. But since series are still going on, Dallas and Minnesota are playing right now. Minnesota is a win away. Let's see how that game's going. Last I checked, it was 2-2 through two periods. 11-14
I
left. It
say
was a
we
2-2 game. But there's one more
let's
big
talk
thing I
about
want
how
to talk about.
much. Yeah, let's talk about how much we dislike the draft lottery in the NBA. I
Let's
don't like
talk
any
about the
sort of
draft
lottery
lottery.
draft, but
Let's talk about the
yeah,
draft lottery. So, since the 1980s, NBA teams have said, "Hey, look, the season's a wash. We're lacking the talent. We need that big impact player in the draft to get us to where we want to be." But oh no, we might end up with only like the ninth overall pick or the 10th overall pick. Let's just lose. And it gave a chance. The Chicago Bulls in 1983 were like, all right, guys, this is not a good year. Let's just pack it in. Hope we get a good pick. Who they pick with the third overall pick in that draft? Michael Jordan. The Bulls were accused of tanking in that draft to get what would become Michael Jordan. The Cavaliers were like, okay, look, this kid out of Akron, going to be pretty good. Let's just pack this season in. Hope we get this LeBron James guy. It panned out. They got LeBron James. Tanking has been a thing since the dawn of time. David Stern in 1985 introduced the lottery to punish tankers. Teams that were going out of the way to lose and said, let's punish them by not guaranteeing them the number one pick. Let's just settle for a lottery. And it's been like that for decades. And we've all been cool with it. Of course, it's kind of weird when Derrick Rose from Chicago is going into the draft to be the first overall pick, and the Chicago Bulls won the lottery with a 1.6% chance. Wow! Lucky for the Bulls, huh? That they got the hometown kid with a 1.6% chance. Totally a coincidence. It was weird when
So rigged.
when New Orleans got Chris Paul fifth overall. Then they traded Chris Paul. Then they immediately won the Anthony Davis lottery. Then they traded Anthony Davis. Then they immediately won the Zion lottery. And now Zion might get traded. It was a little weird when the Dallas Mavericks inconspicuously traded Luka, and then the 1.8% chance shot up to number one and got their new white superstar. Lucky them, huh? Meanwhile, the Utah Jazz have never moved up in the lottery in their entire history. Fun fact. God forbid San Antonio is bad for a couple years, though. Wembanyama, Dylan Harper, Castle. Let's just give them a whole new core. So
it's just like,
I mean,
it's like the teams. The reason, the reason the draft is, and the draft doesn't matter as much in the MLB. I get in baseball, I guess, but the reason the draft, the reason the draft is in place is so bad teams can improve. And at least in the NHL, it's usually like the top 5 picks are still like among the worst teams.
Yeah.
It's still like there's like when the Rangers got like the second and first pick, that was like kind of absurd. That probably shouldn't have happened.
They did do the latter one live. Like they did it live in front of everybody and they won it. So
yeah. But with the NBA, it's just gotten to the point where you can't. I genuinely think, and I know people say, I don't think the NFL is rigged. I think some refs suck.
You can't rig
I don't think it's rigged.
You can't
I don't think it's rigged.
You can't rig football.
Yeah.
A sport like football, you can't manipulate it like that. You just can't.
Yeah. There's a reason so many of these big market teams in the NBA just win year after year after year. And I know there's like the Spurs were good for a while. I know that they're good again. Detroit won it in like 2004, but it's like LA, the Bay Area, again, like Miami, Florida. It's like, guys, what are we doing here?
Oklahoma City did just win.
It's like,
so.
Yeah, but I mean, but that's also, but you also got to think that they still have a lot of they still have fans in Seattle. There's still a lot of people watching. And there's still a lot of people watching the Thunder. Yeah,
they should be getting their team.
But there's just they expanded the playoffs to virtually 20 teams. If there's this, like, why does a 10 seed have a shot at, if let's say you take a 10 seed and you're in this play-in tournament now.
The 37 and 45 Golden State Warriors got to play for a postseason spot.
Yeah. So let's say you take a 10 seed, right? And you're saying you have a shot to make the playoffs now, right? And let's say that team loses. Why do they have a chance at the first pick?
Well, don't ask the Dallas Mavericks because that's what they got the first pick.
I know that's what I mean. Like I'm sorry, that's ridiculous. That should not exist in professional sports.
That's how they unironically got it. That's what's insane.
Yeah. They should, like, imagine Golden State gets it and you just pair the top pick with Steph Curry. It's like, it's crazy. It's actually crazy. And even before the play-in, it was nonsense. Like, and of course, I'm a Knicks fan, so I'm still like, and of course, and Zion, I'm not really upset about the Zion thing. If it's anything, it's the Morant thing. But the Grizzlies had double the wins that the Knicks had that year. They were 33 and 49. The Knicks won 17 games that year. The Grizzlies came in like 11th or 12th in the Western Conference. It's not like they were the worst team in the West. And they got the second pick.
But
It's like, I don't
anyway,
know. To me, that's
yeah,
yeah. To me, it's just kind
and
of
you know, I
ridiculous.
don't know if you can see the hat in the background, but I'm a Wizards fan. I got the Washington Bullets hat in the background, so I can't wait for the Golden State Warriors or like the Heat or whoever to shoot over us in the order. We get the 5th overall pick. I can't wait to end up with Caleb
That'll be
Wilson
fun.
or some while the Warriors get to Bansa because we're all just preparing for that. But anyway, we're here to talk about the lottery because Adam Silver, I guess he got one too many calls from BetMGM, who's complaining about how the Jazz sat Jaren Jackson Jr. in the second half, or he got too many calls from FanDuel talking about how we need March and April games don't matter, blah blah blah. So now all of a sudden we need to put the kibosh on tanking. I mean, if you had asked me 2 years ago about Adam Silver, I would have said he's a solid commissioner. Now I think he's the worst because he's operating with the interest of gambling companies in mind and not the NBA. That's the overarching problem here.
Yeah,
I could go on and on about the sports betting stuff, but it's here.
yeah.
It's a thing,
It's
and
not. It's not leaving. It's not leaving anytime soon.
I think with in terms of betting, we are. I hope one day we can get to the point to where there's some regulation, because it is. How do I put this? Have you read the novel 1984?
Yeah.
I I imagine if that universe took place in today's day and age with the internet and social media, I could not scroll for 2 seconds without seeing an advertisement for Big Brother. That's what I imagine. Obviously, there's no computers in 1984, and the novel was written in 1949. So obviously, technology. You get my point. If I was scrolling a
Yeah.
computer, there'd be Big Brother and the party stuff all over the place. It's like that
Yeah.
with betting apps. Unironically, you can't avoid it. You can't go out of your way to avoid FanDuel, DraftKings, BetMGM, freaking
Kalshi,
ESPN, Kalshi, ESPN Bet,
Polymarket.
Polymarket.
Like,
Maybe one day we'll have some regulation, but I think in terms of betting itself, we're past the point of no return. But
yeah.
here's the problem, because here are the new NBA draft lottery odds that are being proposed. I'm gonna see if I can put this in full screen. So this is the lottery odds. Let me see if I can like move our. I guess the camera's kind of in the way. As you can see, the teams that pick the 4th through 10th worst teams in the NBA will all have an 8.1% chance at winning the first overall pick. The first, second, and
What
third worst team.
numbers?
Let me see. Okay, the 4th through 10th worst teams will get 3 like lottery balls.
Okay.
11th through 14th worst will get 2 lottery balls. The first, second, and third worst teams will get 2 lottery balls. So you are incentivizing being just regular bad instead of being horrible. But here's the problem. We're having this conversation because teams like the Jazz and the Pacers and my Wizards very clearly just packed it in. The Wizards lost 26 of their last 27 games. They made no effort to be a winning ball club because they want Peterson, Debansa, maybe Boozer, Caleb Wilson, because this is a stacked draft class. So they obviously packed it in, and the NBA said, we can't have this. We're finding the Jazz, or we're finding the Pacers. We're not going to find the Wizards, but we're finding these teams that are trying to lose. So you know how we're going to solve these teams trying to lose? We're going to punish the teams that are actually just bad. Does Adam Silver not get that some teams just suck, and that's just how it works? You aren't.
It makes he was he a basketball fan before this? I don't think he was.
I
I don't
don't
think he
know.
watches basketball.
He was the deputy commissioner for Stern for a while before he took over full time when Stern retired. Adam Silver doesn't get that this doesn't solve the whole teams are trying. Some teams just stink. Like we think some teams are trying to be bad. So let's punish the teams that are actually bad. You're not solving anything. What's going to happen is, I mean, some teams just can't get out of the fire unless they win the lottery. And the response is always, get good, LOL. Just win more games. How about you just be better? So what? I want to look at these people and say, what do you suggest? And I swear to God, if someone says, just be like the Spurs, I'm going to punch you in the face. Yeah, just be like the Spurs. Just win lotteries. Yeah,
Just get the first pick.
just win the lottery. Get lucky in this other way, even though you can't get lucky in the draft lottery. What's this tweet I had pulled up?
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Where is it? Never mind. I don't have anything. I thought I had bookmarked something, but I guess not.
Yeah,
But the point is, this doesn't solve anything. Like, I don't know what they thought they were cooking, but and then you look at this some more. The play-in loser. Excuse me. The 7 to 8 play-in loser gets one lottery ball. So, let me just. I believe I'm not reading this incorrectly. Yeah, the 9 and the 10 seeds will be in the lottery. Just they'll be playing for the postseason. In the instance of the 2023 Miami Heat, they'll make the finals as the 8th seed, and they'll be in the lottery. And then the 7 to 8 play-in loser gets a lottery ball too. So
wait, so the teams that come in 9th and 10th, even if that team makes the postseason, they still get a lottery pick?
that's what this says. So let me pull this back up. Hold on, I'll send it
That's
to
so
you.
stupid.
Let me send it to you.
That's,
Maybe you'll see
that's
something that I don't see. Okay, there's the chart for how the lottery works. Let me pull it back up. I know our camera's kind of in the way. I don't really know where to put it. Maybe if I could just move Mark off the screen. There you go. You can't see him. Now it's just me. So the play-in loser, you could lose the 7 to 8 play-in game, win the next game, and make the playoffs and get a lottery ball. The 7 seed, the Phoenix Suns in this universe, would get a lottery ball. Who made the playoffs and was a 7 seed and lost because they lost a play-in game to the who beat
so
them?
this isn't
The
official,
Blazers.
right? This is not official. This
It's a
is
proposition.
proposed.
It's a proposition. I don't believe it's official yet.
This is not going to pass. This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
You never
Like
know.
why?
You never know. I imagine it's going to be vote. I think it's voted on by the owners. You need 23 of 30, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, who's going to vote for this crap besides the people that came in 4th through 10th?
That
Like,
mediocre teams, play-in bubble teams. I imagine the Jazz wouldn't approve of it, or the who was another perpetually bad team besides the Wizards, and I guess this year the Pacers.
the
Took a
Nets.
gap year. The Nets, like, it might pass, and then you're gonna have a 10 seed and a 9 seed winning the lottery every year, and then these few teams at the bottom are just gonna stay on the bottom because you could fall to 12 from 1. The lottery doesn't apply this year. You could have the worst record in the league and get the 12th pick of the draft.
But then I don't think that the 4th worst team should have a 1.5% less chance. Like the worst record should have the first pick.
The NFL has no issues with tanking, and teams tank all the time. And there's no lottery, and we're just cool with it
Yeah.
because I don't know.
I don't feel like tanking is as much of a problem in the NFL because the players and coaches are, I feel like, on the hot seat a lot more than in basketball. Like in basketball, because there's not that many players and you have like the one head coach and a few assistant coaches. A lot of people's jobs are kind of safe for a few years. Whereas in the NFL, if you're not a starter, that's like kind of middle tier to like Pro Bowl, all pro level, you're fighting for your life to stay on that team.
Right.
So I don't really think tanking is much of a problem in the NFL. Like if you're like a cornerback 2 or 3, you don't want to lose games. You don't care about who your team is going to, like where your team picks. You care about keeping your job.
Yeah.
If you're like Brian DeBall, for example, you don't want to just give up on the season because you could get a good draft pick. You want to fight for your head coaching job.
Yeah.
You know, if you're like, that, so that's not as much of,
what if
that's
it's
not
a-
as much of,
What if it's a
like,
Brian
I feel
Flores
like,
thing? What if it's a Brian Flores thing where they want you to lose and you're in the NFL and they're like, hey, we need to get a top pick? That's a factor too. So, and I think the other
I'm just
rule,
saying, I just don't think it happens as much in the NFL. I feel like with these lottery picks, it's a lot more abusable
yeah,
because you
and
could just kind of be like, you could just kind of turn bad at any point and actually have a shot at getting the best player in the draft. Like I
then
think
the
the
other
lottery system
rules,
should just be done away with in both
and
and in hockey too.
the other rules are you can't pick number one overall in back-to-back drafts, and I think you can't have a top five pick 3 years in a row.
Really?
Yeah, that's the other part of it. I showed you the. Let me see if I can
That's
find like a full thing of the rules because I remember I read it all when it came out. NBA
that's stupid.
lottery proposal. I don't know why I'm searching this at Twitter when I can't just search it into Google. But what can you do? Okay, here we go. Yeah, 16 teams. Ninth and 10th play-in seeds get 2 lottery balls. Losers of 7 and 8 games get 1 lottery ball. My lord. Yeah. No team would be able to win the top pick in 2 straight years. You cannot win top 5 3 straight years. Teams can no longer protect picks in the 12 to 15 slots. I think protected picks should be done away with entirely. I think pick protections are stupid. I think if you have your first round pick or you don't, in my opinion. I don't like the fact that you can protect
Yeah.
first round picks. So
It's like we'll include this in a trade, but if we do kind of what, yeah, we keep it. We keep it.
like what?
Sorry,
And
it doesn't make any
you
sense.
can't
It's
fully eliminate the incentive to tank. That's the problem. The only way you could fully eliminate the incentive to tank is to eliminate the draft and just make all rookies free agents and just let them sign wherever they want and give each team like a budget and have like a bidding war. That's the only way you can eliminate tanking because then there will be no incentive to lose. If you have a draft, there will be an incentive to lose if you are bad. And I don't think Adam Silver gets that. Or maybe he does, but he needs to appease to the calls he's getting from frickin' ESPN Bet or whatever with Kevin Hart and all the
yeah,
commercials.
but
So I
he's
don't know.
also. I think when I see this, I just think it's about ratings. I think it's like, oh, Dallas got the first pick. He probably wants the Warriors to get the first pick.
Well, they could
That's
just
what I'm
rig it for
saying.
if they rig the lottery,
Yeah.
then they could just rig the lottery and just get whatever result they want. But I also don't think they do that every
Yeah.
year. Like I don't think the year the top pick was Zachary Ricochet. I don't think the Adam Silver got down this committee and said, "All right, guys, where are we sending
Yeah.
Alex Sarr?" Like I don't think that was the case. I
But
don't.
why? Because I know you were picking out a few markets before. Were you implying that New Orleans was kind of rigged? Like, why New Orleans as a market? Because it's not a very big
I'm not.
city. Because who's rooting? Because who's rooting for? If you're from like Louisiana, Mississippi, and like I don't even know, like because the people in Texas aren't rooting for the Pelicans. There's 3 Texas teams to choose from.
So
Like
I'm
really,
not.
the only people. Yeah, go on.
I
What?
wouldn't explicitly say that they rigged it for the New Orleans Pelicans. They are the smallest market in the whole league. Or no, they're second
Are they?
smallest. To,
Okay.
no, I think they're second smallest to Memphis, who ironically were picks 1 and 2 in the Zion draft.
Memphis.
I do, and when I rifled off all those incidents, I'm not even explicitly saying all of them are rigged drafts, or I don't even know for sure if the lottery's rigged. I really don't. Maybe it's not. Maybe Derrick Rose just so happened to end up with his hometown Chicago team with a 1.8% chance. I don't know. Maybe it's all just luck, and I'm just being a tinfoil hat loser. But it is weird that the Pelicans, or I should say, they're the New Orleans Hornets, and they got Chris Paul. They drafted Chris Paul like 5th overall, ended up being a Hall of Famer. They trade him to the Lakers, or well, I guess they tried to. Then he gets vetoed.
They
They
tried
trade him.
to.
Then they trade
Yeah.
him to the Clippers. Then they instantly won the Anthony Davis lottery, who was hyped to hell and back because he was a 6'2" guard with ball handling and shooting skills, and then one gross but later he's 6'10", and he's 6'10" with guard skills. So he was a no doubt number one overall pick. Then they have Anthony Davis. They don't go anywhere. They then trade him to the Lakers. They then instantly won the Zion lottery and got Zion immediately.
Yeah. A little
Well,
sketchy. A little sketchy.
I'm not saying they. I mean, there's not much incentive to rig a lottery for the New Orleans Pelicans. I'm not saying explicitly
Yeah.
that that's what they did, but it's interesting. And I cannot remember the last time that there was a no doubt top pick coming into the draft, and the lottery didn't play out in a way that wasn't convenient for the league. Oh, thank God LeBron gets to go to his hometown team. That'll be great. Thank God Cooper
I'm
Flag gets to
telling,
go to the team that
yeah,
traded Luca. Thank God the Bulls got
I'm
Derrick Rose. Thank God the Spurs got Duncan to pair with David Robinson and have this big duo. So maybe David Robinson could finally get a ring. Thank God Patrick Ewing went to the Knicks. What?
I'm telling you, man.
Just every
It's the NBA is just like a reality show. I know I've said it
Wembanyama.
before on the show. It's
Oh, the
like,
Spurs got Wembanyama. They can go from Robinson to Duncan to Wembanyama. It's like a pipeline of all-time great big men to San
yeah,
Antonio.
yeah, like it's like the best, like LeBron James, who isn't the best player anymore, of course, but he's like legacy wise, the best player in recent memory is like a total diva. Like in the NFL, you don't have these superstar, like top, like who, like the best player isn't like a diva. Who's a diva right now? Like AJ Brown.
Wide receivers.
It's like
I
he's a
mean,
good, yeah, he's a great player. He's not he's not LeBron James, the LeBron James equivalent in the NFL. It's just the NBA. I'm telling you, it's just it,
it's a soap
it's
opera.
just entertainment. Yeah,
And
it's just entertainment. It's a
it's a
reality show. And so many players have come out in the past talking about how they think it's rigged and this and that. Like I forgot who it was, but he was like kind of a middle tier player. He played for a while, but he was on the Sixers. He was talking about how they got to game 7 against the Heat one time, and he was like really excited, and he was talking to his teammates about it. And one of his teammates, who was like a veteran, was like, we've got to win by 10 to win by 1.
I know you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, that clip. It's because the refs could just keep blowing whistles for free throws and just
Well,
push like of course they want Miami to win. The NBA wants Miami to advance.
I do think strings were pulled
You're
when David Stern was in office because he just didn't care. You and I both know that I think that Lakers King series was rigged for the Lakers in Game 6 when the
that was
Lakers.
rigged. That was rigged.
And there's
Yeah.
an I do want to make this clear because it's not like we don't like the sport of basketball. I think the NBA playoffs last year were pretty good. I mean, the Pacers run was awesome.
Yeah.
I loved watching the
Yeah,
Pacers.
they got to I mean,
like
I didn't like
watching
seeing the Knicks go down, but at least at least it was a unique matchup in the finals. It wasn't like Cavs Warriors for the 15th year in a row,
Thunder Nuggets was a
you
great
know?
series.
Yeah.
Minnesota and who did Minnesota beat in the second round that year? They beat the Lakers in the first round. They beat in the
They
second round.
beat
Oh no, that
they
was a
beat
5-gamer against Golden State.
the
Never mind. That was a 5-gamer against Golden State.
uh
The Knicks Sixers was a good series. Like the playoffs can be really fun. The year Giannis won the championship, those playoffs are great. Nets Bucks
yeah, those
game
were
7 was
fun.
an all time great. Suns Clippers had a couple of great games. The
Yeah.
what else is in that postseason? The Hawks going on their run. Like the NBA playoffs can be great, and sometimes they are great. So it's not like we don't like the sport of basketball. It's that we don't like the soap opera that the NBA
I
leans
don't
into.
like
They lean into
I
it.
don't like it. Oh my god, and you see like especially the ESPN broadcasters, they eat up this
Well, that's all
Twitter
they talk about.
drama. Yeah, that's all they care about. It's garbage. It's
I
just so
work at the
upsetting.
I work at that cafeteria, and right next to me is a big ass TV that plays First Take. And yet yesterday, LeBron was being asked about the GOAT debate, and he gave the typical like we're both different players answer, like the kind of the classy answer. I thought LeBron gave a good answer. And there were all these NBA playoff games. There were these amazing hockey games. Dallas, Minnesota. I guess Game 5 was a laver. All these playoff games that ESPN broadcast, and they open the show with LeBron talking about the GOAT debate. I mean, that's just what it is. And
Because it just gets people riled up. It's just like
well, it's also
it's
because they
nonsense.
have. I'm actually going to defend Stephen A. Smith. It's because they want one guy to talk about everything. And what they should be doing is having a crazy basketball expert, a crazy football expert, a crazy baseball expert, a crazy hockey expert. You need to, because you have to be like obsessed with this stuff. Like, I follow all 4 sports. Football is my number one, and I'm always going to be a
Yeah,
football fan
football's their
first.
one.
I could obsess over football in a way that I can't with like the other 3 sports, because that's just that's just number one for me, and I think it is for you
Yeah.
too. And it probably is.
Yeah, it's
That's why my
my
channel. That's why my
yeah.
channel and my main
I like
channel is all
yeah.
football videos. It's just I
I
know
like
more about football.
MMA.
Yeah, it's just
I like MMA
so.
more than football, but if we're talking about like the big team sport leagues, yeah,
But the
football.
problem is they have Stephen A. Smith talking about everything all the time. So that's why you have him getting so much stuff wrong. So I actually will defend Stephen A. Smith in that category. But I do. Quick little thing off topic. I know you talk about how I'm not saying that you think it's rigged, but you talk about that clip with the Sixers. Do you know the story of the 2000 conference finals, or 2001 conference finals with Allen Iverson? Do you know the whole story?
No.
So
Not that was that was
that's
the year the
MVP,
Sixers lost to the Lakers in the
right?
finals.
They beat the Milwaukee Bucks in the conference finals, who had Ray Allen. He was their best player, and a bunch of bigs, and it was a good team. And they were in the conference finals. The Bucks spent all series complaining about calls. And in Game 6, which the Bucks would win to force the decisive 7th game in Philly, their starting small forward, Scott Williams, committed a flagrant 1. Which, a flagrant 1 is foul, free throws, keep the ball, I believe. And then a flagrant 2 means
Okay.
you're ejected and then you're suspended for the next game. For example, do you remember, we'll use the WNBA, do you remember when Angel Reese was going to block a shot and in the follow through
No.
you don't? Angel Reese went to block a shot from Caitlin Clark and in the follow through hit Caitlin Clark in the head. It wasn't on purpose, obviously, because she was trying to block the shot. So it was a flagrant 1. If she had slapped somebody, it'd be a flagrant 2. So let me set that right there.
Okay.
So Scott Williams,
Okay. Yeah.
Scott Williams, the starting small forward for the Milwaukee Bucks, committed a flagrant 1 in Game 6, kept playing the game, and everything was fine. So they win that game. They go to Philly. They get ready for Game 7. They're all warming up. 4 hours before tip-off, an official goes up to the Bucks and says, "Hey, that flagrant 1 got switched to a flagrant 2. Scott Williams is suspended for this game."
Wow.
With like hours in advance. They're about to start in a few hours. Hey, you're starting small forward? He's out. Flagrant 2, we changed it. And Milwaukee got their ass kicked in Game 7. Now, did not having Scott Williams change the result? No. Philly whooped them. Allen Iverson had a terrific Game 7. So fair enough. I'm not blaming Allen Iverson. He was fantastic that playoff run. But, that's an example of David Stern being able to pull some strings.
The NBA's got some the NBA's got some sketchy stuff. Like that. Aren't you a believer that the 100-point game didn't happen?
I'm like
the
half
Wilt game, or
I say that like half. I say that like
yeah.
half. I'm half joking. It is weird that there's no
But
footage of it when there's so much
isn't
footage
there
in history.
isn't there some evidence that yeah it's like that's weird to me.
There's no
And like
footage.
no one
There's no radio call until the final couple minutes when he's about to get 100 points. There's no official scorecard. There's no official final scorecard of this game. And it was played in like some high school gym, if I'm not mistaken. Or like a college gym.
And this was what, the 70s? It's not like the NBA was small.
1962. The NBA was kind of small by then. I mean, you had
okay, 60s.
I think Russell was in the league. I think Russell was in the league by then. I'm not positive. I believe Bill Russell was in the league in 1962. So it's not like no one watched, but I don't know if I actually believe that. If it had a gun to my head and said, "Did the Wilt game happen?" I'd probably say yes, but there's reason to believe it didn't. Maybe the all-time scorer in a game is Bam Adebayo and not Wilt. when I throw a piece of trash, I'm gonna say Bam.
Damn.
I cannot believe Bam hung 83 on the Wizards. That's actually kind of funny.
Yeah,
well, that being said, this has been a damn near 2-hour episode. We talked about the draft. We talked about the NBA lottery stuff. That's all we got for you today for the 11th episode of this podcast. I have just finished the audio track for my next video on the main channel. So hopefully in a couple weeks that will be up. I think you're going to like it, especially if you were a fan of the St. Louis Rams back in the early 2000s. But anyway, that'll be all we've got for you. To anyone who's still here, what should they comment?
Who had the what team you think had the best draft?
What team had the best draft, and why is it the Baltimore Ravens? All right, with that being said, that's all we got for you. See ya.